Jackie, we're going to do a test run. You want to do a test run with me? Come here. Let me scoop you. Let me scoop you. Oh, you're hot. Why are you in here? So hot. Okay. Jackie, what's that? Are you going to be mad at me all day? We just have to do a sound check. Make sure it works. Try not to swear, though, okay? You're a bit of a porky mouth, and I don't want to bleep it all out. You want to try it? Sound check was A+, dog approved. Hi, and welcome to episode 4 of the With Point and Sticks podcast. I'm Susan, and it's been a year and a half since my last podcast. I think it was Sue on Legacy Knits who said whenever people say that on their podcast, it makes her think of confession. And I grew up wicked Catholic, so that's what I think of also. So it's been a year and a half since my last podcast, and these are my whips. This one's going to be quick and dirty, just so I can get it out of my system and figure it out again and then get back to regularly scheduled programming. The last time I did this, I did it with my boyfriend, Ryan, and we went on a hiatus because we both got big kid jobs, or I should say we both got promoted to like careers, whereas before we were just doing entry level, doing our time at jobs we didn't really like so that we could get jobs that we wanted. And we did at about the same time when we stopped doing the podcast. And with these real jobs, our old jobs weren't fake, I shouldn't say that. With these new jobs, we were able to move out into our own place together, which was great, but busy. So we stopped doing the podcast. We signed a lease April of last year, I think, and we moved in June 1st, and about a week before we moved in, Ryan asked me to marry him, and I said yes, because I'm a very smart person. I'm sorry, I have to look at my show notes, because I wrote this all down, and apparently forgot the course of my life since writing this down. Got engaged, we moved, then we got married. We got married in August of last year, just 2 or 3 months after getting engaged. We eloped, semi-eloped. We went with our parents and our siblings up to the White Mountains in New Hampshire, and we got married at a cute little inn, and we had our pictures taken on a mountain. Because we got married so quick, everyone thought it was a shotgun wedding. Everyone, even my mother, was like, "Sharon, a little bit pregnant." Nope, 0%. We didn't want a big wedding. I really like going to weddings, never mind having my own and dealing with that and all the shenanigans that happen with a wedding. I didn't want to do it. And we thought if we didn't want to have a big wedding, why would we wait? So we just got married real quick, and it was great. And then we went back to our new jobs and our new apartment and our new lives, and I started a business, which I'll talk about later. And we kept meaning to go back to podcasting, except you would think living together it would be easier to do it. We were together, we're in the same place, we would have time. In a spare minute, you sit down, you record a podcast. It's actually harder living together, at least when we were not living together. We made plans to get together, and we said, this is what we're going to do when we get together, and we would do the podcast, and that would be it. But not the case when we live together, because it's like, well, we could sit down and do a podcast, and that would be great. Or we could watch Netflix until one of us falls asleep on the couch. And guess which one always wins? Clearly it's not podcasting. So I decided to do this knitting part on my own, and then if I talk about other stuff and he's around, then we'll do that. I have no idea what I was working on the last time we podcasted, because I didn't go back to watch that episode. It's a little cringeworthy to watch your own episodes, especially I think we did that one a little tipsy, so I didn't want to go back and watch it. So I don't know what I was working on, but I will show you something that I finished recently. It was a couple weeks ago, and you may have seen it on Instagram. If you follow me, I'm With Pointed Sticks on Instagram and most other places. Yeah, I finished this a few weeks ago, but I haven't had the chance to show it off. So I'd like to show it now. I put it in this disaster of a desk. Okay, I finished the 3-color, oh god, not a great hair day. It's like 90 and humid, and I'm a Boston girl and prefer it much colder. Anyway, this is the 3-color cashmere shawl by Joji Locatelli. I'm doing this on my webcam today. I will try other options as I go, but for now, this just was the easiest. Yeah, so this is 3-color cashmere. It's enormous. It goes on forever. It used up a good majority of 3-hole skeins, so about 1,200 yards. The yarn is Plucky in the Plucky knitter in their singles base. This gray is flannel. This turquoise is Ethel. And this really nice goldish is called Honey Wilkes. So I love this. I wear this all the time at work, where I sit under an air conditioner by the grace of God. And I love it. It's soft and it's nice. I like it. I also have some hose. Oops. My first hoe is a vanilla sock with a fish lips kiss heel. This is from a Spun Right Round sock blank in graffiti. I ordered these blockers off Amazon and it didn't give me a size option, and it turns out it's a little bit small for my big enormous feet. And let's have the ribbing done on the next one. And this is the rest of the blank. This is a lot of fun because, I mean, it's almost self-striping where each section is different. You can see it changing. Oh, it's so pretty. I really like sock blanks because they kind of look like hand spun, the way they're all crinkly, at least until you block them. And that's nice. So I think this sock, if you look at it, it's going to be mostly pink down here. And I don't know how far this will go, but if I don't use the end, I'm going to have to do something else with that because look how gorgeous that is. Damn, girl. Oh, sorry. My other hoe is the No Purl monkey socks based on the Cookie A pattern. Dog fur and everything. And this is in Hedgehog sock in the Genie colorway. It's really kind of washed out there. I don't know what to do about that. This is a lot of fun. I don't usually do pattern socks, or I shouldn't say usually, I haven't done any pattern socks in the past. I didn't want to put that much effort into something I wear on my feet, but I actually like this a lot. It's a lot of fun. So I will be doing more pattern socks. And for the second one, I have I'm up to the heel flap. And this is super pretty. I got this from Simply Socks Yarn Company because they frequently have colors that other people don't, and you don't have to, no, I have to cut that out. They don't have colors other people don't. They have popular colors in stock frequently that you don't have to fight to get. Unlike a Hedgehog update or something. That's super much. Anyway, it's very pretty. Whips. I have no less than 700,000 whips. I counted 700,000 whips. But I have a couple that I'm working on most exclusively. Socks and shawls right now. I have some sweaters on the needles, but I just don't like, I don't know. I want to wear hand knit sweaters, but I don't like making them. They're so stressful for me. I'm like, this isn't gonna fit, and I don't want to do the math. You have to swatch, and it's like, oh, I want a new sweater. So I don't do that much. So let's start with socks. Yes. Excuse me. This bag I got on Etsy. I think it's called Becca B's Bags, but I'll link it in the show notes. It's made out of a vintage tablecloth. which is awesome. And I usually buy project bags. I have a couple, but I would prefer to spend the money on yarn. But this, I saw this, and I thought that was just so cool that it's tablecloths. That's awesome. I love that. So what I'm doing right now is for my husband. And this is in yarn that I dyed that I'll talk about later. It's in my shop. It's called Hell Hunt, and it's my Halloween colorway. I don't know if you can really see the green there, but it's a warm, deep gray with some purple and blue speckles that they don't show up as purple and blue, but they add a lot of like tonalness to the gray, which kind of gives it depth. It's really nice. And then there is chartreuse speckled through there. It's a little better. Sorry, my hands are shaking. I've eaten nothing except popsicles today. I live my best life. And this is the Mr. Pitt socks. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's basically just a 3x1 rib all the way through. Looks like this. And the chartreuse, as you can see, right on. Oops, this is backwards. This camera. There we go. It's pooling in a spiral there. I'll put a picture of this on Instagram so you can see the colors, because maybe I shouldn't be doing this in the brightest part of the afternoon. I don't know. So there's that one. And this is one I've been working on since April. I took this on a plane, we went to Florida. And I'm using Knitter's Pride Dreams DPNs because I figured I would be allowed to take those on the plane. And I was, but I was also allowed to take metal needles on the plane, so it ended up not mattering. This is White Birch Fiber Arts in the Nothing Says Screw You Like a Rainbow colorway. This one's pretty infamous. Certainly you've seen this before. I just have the toe to finish up, and it will be a hoe. Well, I also am doing an afterthought heel, so it's going to be mostly a hoe. It's going to be a hoe who's not very good at its job. Yeah, and this is just a pantload of fun. Next up, I'm doing some shawls. Oh, something just fell off my desk. If only I was cleaner. Oh, I'm in the middle of a row. Who would do this? What kind of monster. This is a Spindrift shawl by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade. Is that right? I think so. I wish I didn't stop in the middle. Anyway, the main color is Druzy Rising in the Taiga colorway. There was one update I was willing to brave of hers because her updates, you gotta be fast. And I've never really had that willingness to do that aside from this one update. Her yarn's gorgeous, but so also a lot of other gorgeous yarn, so you gotta pick your battles. Yes, this is Taiga, and it's very beautiful, but it's also very subtle, which I guess is what makes it beautiful, but I like my color to be a little loud and in your face, so I'm adding some pops of color by way of Madeline Tosh sock. This is old. I got this at Windsor Button in Boston when it was still open, and it hasn't been for years, so the colorway is something rose, dusty rose, rose, Mageddon, unclear. And this is the ball of the rest of it. Oh, it's so pretty. Can't even stand it. Yeah. So this one's coming along. I don't know if I love this one. Don't throw things. I don't know if I love this shawl. I might give it away. Might be a gift. My mother might like it. She likes these colors. I don't not like it. Something's just not like singing to you. It's not singing to me. I like my knits loud, vocal, harmonious. Okay, and last up for whips that I'm going to show, certainly not whips that I have, but ones that I've been working on consistently. I'm sorry if you can hear my bench squeaking. That's not cute. Oh my god, I'm also in the middle of a row for this. Get it together, Susan. This is the Squishalicious shawl. I don't know the pattern designer's name. I will post it. Oh, it's so stretchy. It's a flip stitch pattern, so the stretch is marvelous. And this yarn is Wee Chickadee Woolery, who I bought yarn from pretty consistently for a while because it's so gorgeous. She's on Etsy. Oh my god, her yarn's... Oh, there's two of them. Their yarn is so beautiful. This is a sock base. Heck if I know which one. I'm so sorry. In the Agates colorway. I think it's in their shop right now, actually. And I went up a needle size from what the pattern said, not intentionally, just worked out that way. So I'm using up a lot more yarn than I thought I would. This is more goldeny than what's showing up. I'm going to try something else next time, I think, lighting-wise. It's goldeny with orange and purple and blue. So when I get to the edging, I don't think I'll have enough yarn, so I'm going to use this one, which is Peepaloo Fields in the Plum Picker colorway. They're both 80/20 sock pieces. And this one is gold and purple and blue. And it's more purple than this one, but there's a lot of similar colors in there, so I think they're going to work together real nice. This one I really love. This pattern, the slip stitch, has been so cathartic. It's just been an absolute joy to knit on. My little puppy was sick a couple weeks ago. He was really sick. And they thought he had cancer and they thought he had lupus, and he ended up just having an infection that got better, which is nice. But it was a really stressful couple days, and we're in and out of the emergency vet, and it was awful. So I was knitting on this, and it felt so good. It was the only thing that like kind of mellowed me out because I have anxiety anyway. So never mind, you put me in a dog hospital with, I mean, Jackson's my baby. We love this dog. I know everyone loves their dogs. We don't have kids. And we're at the age where we probably should have kids biologically, but we don't because we're millennials. So we treat this dog like he's our baby, and he goes to daycare, and oh, I just love him. I don't know if you can hear him snoring right now. So it was a devastating couple days thinking maybe he had cancer because he's 4. He's a little guy. He's not, no one, oh, so this was awesome. This was great. And I still love it even now that he's better, which is good. Guys, what am I talking about next? Spinning. I unofficially did the Tour de Fleece. I don't like to commit to anything. I don't like to commit to cows, people, or events. So I just kind of had a loose plan. I don't spin very much. I just do it really casually, and I only spin on drop spindles. I don't have a wheel. It just seems like a lot of work to pick one out and keep it maintained. I'm not in a place in my life where I want that. And also, I mean, the dog will get into it. At some point, we will have kids, and the kids stick their fingers in it. So for now, it just makes more sense to use drop spindles. So I don't get anything done very fast. But my goal was to get a 2-ounce pack of Hobbly-Hoy batlets done, spun, and plied during that time. And I did it only one day late, which is pretty good. So this was a set called Crater Lake, and I'll try and post a picture of what it looked like originally, because the batlings were so beautiful. This ended up being over 2 ounces. It was a very generous 2 ounces. I think it weighs 58 grams. It's either 53 or 58, which aren't the same, but I can't remember which it was. and it's about 220 yards. So it is all pinks and blues and purples. And it is 2-plied. Can't really. I put it on too small of a knitting knot. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. So it still needs to be blocked and blacked and all that. And I don't know what I'm going to make out of it because it looks like a sport weight. That checks out, right? Sport weight for 220 yards and 58 grams. I'll find out. I don't know what I'll do with it. Something cute. Maybe a hat. I love it. So soft. And Hobbly Hoy's yarn is just, nope, her fiber. She doesn't have yarn. Her fiber is really beautiful. I have more. Let me grab it. Please hold. Yeah, I get 2 packs of the Totem color batlings. So it's 4 ounces total. Oh, fiber smells so good. So it's gold and purple and green. I have 4 ounces of this. Well, probably more because the 2-ounce one was pretty generous. Yeah, we got that. And then I spun it on this spindle from Tina Zangores on Etsy. It was like $13. It was my first spindle that wasn't like a training spindle. Like I had the one from Louette that's a bottom whorl. And it's gigantic. And I use that for plying now. But this was my first lightweight one. And it was not very expensive. And I love this thing. I have more expensive ones now. And this is still my favorite. But I'm going to Rhinebeck and I want to get a Bosworth. So this might have a run for its money. I have other things in spinning, but this one's just quick and dirty, like I said. Okay, acquisitions. I've been on a buying bonanza, which is not great. I gotta stop. I'm planning on going on a yarn diet until Rhinebeck because we're going to Rhinebeck, and I'm also going to the Indie Untangled Trunk Show the night before. I got Ryan and I VIP passes so that we can get in an hour early because I have no willpower. Also, just there's less people that way, and I guess Rhinebeck is not a good place to go if you don't like crowds, but I think I can tough it out. Cut that part out. So I have a lot of acquisitions, but I'm just going to talk about my 2 most recent ones. First up is from Qing Fiber. I think that's how you say it. I'm assuming. I work with a guy named Qi, and he spells it Qi, so I'm assuming that's Qing. This is an 80-10-10 superwash merino cashmere. 382 yards. Oh, so it's a little thick. So it might be more like a sport weight. Interesting. This is a super soft base in the Shushu colorway. I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. And it's this really, it's greener than it's showing up. It's showing up really blue. It's greener. And then it has orange and yellow and black speckles. I don't know if you heard Jackson just slam himself against his crate. Oh, it's so pretty. And it's so soft and squishy. I think it's going to be a cow because it's too soft for socks. I don't like making socks with cashmere in them. They get kind of fuzzy, which I don't like. So, cowl of some kind. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay. And then I also caught Stress Knits first update. And this is 80/20 favorite sock. It's my favorite sock too. I love 80/20. In the Dark Fairies one of a kind colorway. Show notes are gone. Oh, look how pretty that is. This is kind of out of my usual color palette. I mean, there's certainly some very bright colors here, but it's a little more muted than I usually go. which is good. You have to have some variation in your stash. Oh, look how pretty it is. It also, oh, it smells so good. She put a sample of Tufts woolen. I think the wool wash. I only heard their lotion, so I don't know. My whole mailbox smells delicious, which is ideal. So this will be socks of some variety. Oh, I really like it. I gotta stop buying single skeins because I have so many of them. So many single skeins, but they're tempting, and there we are. Okay, so now I want to talk about my Etsy shop. So if you're not interested, that's cool. Thank you so much for joining me. I didn't say anything about who I was. I said I was Susan, and that's it. I'm Susan. I am with Pointed Sticks on Ravelry, Instagram, Facebook page. I have a Ravelry group with Pointed Sticks. I'm with Pointed Sticks on... I can hear that. His snore is so loud. With Pointed Sticks on Etsy. I'm Susan Knits a Lot on Twitter and Pinterest. I'm with Pointed Sticks on Tumblr. And my website is withpointedsticksyarn.com. It's brand new. I redid my whole website because my own website got attacked with adult content and there were so many butts. And I tried to fix it on my own, but it's too hard for me. It was too difficult for me to fix it on my own. So I just started over on a new platform with a new domain name, new hosting. I'm using Squarespace so that they'll fix it for me. That's not a plug because they don't sponsor me. I don't have that thing with them, but I really like Squarespace. They'll fix it for me, I think, if it happens again. Fingers crossed it doesn't happen again because there were so many butts and it was gross. Yeah, so if you are not interested in the Etsy talk, then thank you so much for joining me. I will be doing this more regularly than every year and a half. Like probably next week I'll do it again. Yeah, so I'll see you then if you're not interested. But if you are, I have so much yarn to talk about. I started dyeing last summer, seriously, because it was a lot of fun and I like doing it. And also because there's so much yarn out there, but I wasn't really finding the colors that I wanted. Don't get me wrong, I was certainly buying plenty of yarn, but nothing was the exact colors I was looking for, which was the colors I was looking for is like the palette that exists in my brain. Of course they exist, and now they do. So I opened an Etsy shop because my house was becoming overrun with hand-dyed yarn, and I'm like, well, this is not sustainable unless I start selling this. So I did, and it's been going really well, like better than I expected. People like it. I like that people like it. It's awesome. So I get to keep doing it. So my shop is withpointedsticks.etsy.com. He's sleep barking and grumbling. Jackie! Withpointedsticks.etsy.com, and you can see all my stuff up there. My yarn is all hand dyed by me, and it's inspired by New England nature for the most part, but also heavily inspired by pop culture, because I couldn't pick one. So first up, I want to show the new colors that I put in my shop last week. First one is, this is a one of a kind, but there are still a couple skeins in there if you want to grab it. Oh, there we go. Well, it's a little greener than that. It is bright green with grays and purples. And like you can't see how bright this is, but it is very bright. It's chartreuse. So there's still a couple skeins of this one of a kind. Then I have my Halloween color, which is called Hell Hunt, which is from a Bob's Burger Halloween episode. Queen Latifah, give me strength. Oh, there you go. That's perfect. That's exactly what it looks like. So like I said when I showed off Ryan's sock, this is chartreuse splashed across a warm gray with purples and blues. really like this one. Where did I put the sock? Well, it's gone forever, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to show it next to it, but it's gone forever. And these new ones are all on my 80/20 sock base, which I call ballpoint sock. And this new color is going in my permanent lineup. Not one of a kind, not seasonal, not limited edition. It's just in there. This is called Eyes Like Wildflowers. And it's like a cloudy cobalt blue. See, the green's not showing up. This is all green. Green and a purpley mauve and gold. Let me open this up and see if you can see it. Yeah. You can see all those colors. I love this one. I took one from the shop and I'm making something out of it that I can't show yet, but I will. I love this color. So yeah, this is Eyes Like Wildflowers. I also have some mini skeins sets up in the shop, which go fast, so if you want them, grab them. This is a set of 5 of my most popular colorways. This is, what side are we working from? This one is Are You a Good Witch or a Bad Witch? This is Neon Tiger, Big Head Little Arms, Mixed Berries, and Tulip Fields. And it's 10 grams or approximately 40 yards of each, so it's a 50-gram pack. Which are great for scrap blankets, and Franken socks, and all the scrappy things. So hope you're not in the rustling. And speaking of Are You a Good Witch or a Bad Witch? Susie, Prairie Girl Susie of Prairie Girls Knit and Spin, just designed a sock pattern using that color. Big Head Little Arms. And it's the Circuitous ribbed sock, and it's really cool, and I can't wait to knit it once some of my sock needles are cleared off, because as you can see, that wasn't even all my sock whips that I showed. Yeah, so she designed a sock pattern with that color, which was really awesome. I was so grateful that she wanted to use my yarn for that. Stop slamming your face on the crate. And there's a listing in my shop for Big Head Little Arms dyed to order. And until it sells out, if you order that color, it doesn't have to be a sock yarn. If it's on any base, you get a copy of that pattern from her for free. I will send you a Ravelry code to download it for free, which is awesome. So there's still some slots left. And then when it's sold out, it's done. The color's not done, but the free pattern is done. So definitely make sure you check that out, because it's a really good deal. It's a really awesome pattern. And the yarn's not bad either. It's like a seafoam green with rust and red striped through it. That was actually a color I made by mistake. I was trying to do something else and it didn't work. So it was reds and rust, and then I didn't like it. So I threw it in a pot of seafoam green, and it looked really cool. And since then, it's been one of my most popular colorways, which is funny because it was a mistake. But that's how things work sometimes, I guess. This summer, starting, I think, May, I started offering 5 colors based on Cape Cod. I'm from Massachusetts, just a couple minutes away from the Cape, and I love it there. And it's beautiful there. So I did 5 colors inspired by it, and those are going to be available until July 31st. They're limited edition, and that's it. They're gone. Maybe they'll come back next summer. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Don't take this chance. Don't take this chance. So I have some ready to ship, and I have all of them dyed to order. So if what you want is ready to ship, grab it. And if you want one of the colors that I don't have in stock, they're all available dyed to order until Sunday, the 31st. I think that's Sunday. Yeah, so you can get them. So these are the colors. This is P-Town. Based on Provincetown, which is at the very tippity top of the Cape. These ones I just did so they aren't skeined up pretty and they still have their cotton ties. But this is Sea Glass. This is, again, much greener. I don't know why green won't show up. This is Sea Glass, so it's greens and blues with hydrangea and amber in there. I really love this one. Saltbox Garden, which is chunks of warm brownish gray based on the architecture of saltbox houses, which are probably on most coastal towns, but there's a lot of them in the Cape. And then with flower colors, green and pink and purple speckled in there. Lobster pot. There's a lot of things hanging over this one. Which is based on the famous restaurant in Provincetown. I don't know how famous it is if you don't live here, but there's a really good and notable restaurant called Lobster Pot. Okay. And the last one is mussel shell, based on the colors of mussel shell if you look on the inside of it. On the outside, they're just gray and boring, but on the inside, they look like that. With purples and hydrangea. Oh, it's so cool. Yeah. So those are available. Again, some ready to ship. They're all available dyed to order on ballpoint sock, which is 80/20 superwash merino and nylon. Calligraphy fingering, which is 50/50 superwash merino and silk. It's very luxurious. Rollerball worsted, which is 100% non-superwash merino. So the colors do look different on that base because the superwash makes it take the colors differently. So it comes out a little less saturated. What other bases do I have? Glitter gel pen fingering, which is 75 superwash merino, 20 nylon, and 5 gold-toned stellina, and glitter gel pen DK, which is the same as the sparkle fingering except DK, and the sparkle is silver, not gold. So I hope you go check it out. I have a new collection that I'm going to launch as soon as it's ready. I'm working on it now. It's almost done. Of fall colors. They're all inspired by imagery from songs by The Killers, which were my favorite band since I listened to them for the first time in 2004 in my friend's kitchen when we made cookies to impress the boys we liked. I don't know if the cookies worked, but they were impressed. And has remained my favorite. I just love them. So yeah, there's going to be 5 to 6 colors in that, and they're fall colors. So I'm really excited to show those because there's a couple. I like them all. Obviously, I wouldn't stock them if I didn't like them, but there's a couple that I'm like, oh! No, sorry to wake you. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again, and not in a year and a half. Things will go better. Things were bad, things were just crazy, and I blinked, and it was a year and a half later. So, yeah, I will see you soon, and thank you so much for watching. The show notes will be somewhere on my website, withpointedsticksyarn.com/blog, and maybe in the Ravelry group. If you just search for With Pointed Sticks, it'll be there. Okay, so thank you. I got this out of the way, and I can start fresh next time.